Hello, goodbye. Hello, Dr. Johnson by Kopak.
The insistent thudding from downstairs was a dull, rhythmic pulse against the late-night quiet. Dr. Amanda Johnson's eyes snapped open, a cold dread coiling in her gut. Thump. Scrape. Not the usual settling of an old house. This was deliberate, an intruder. Her heart hammered a frantic rhythm against her ribs. Emily? She slid a hand under her bed, fingers closing around the familiar worn grip of her old softball bat. The smooth wood felt surprisingly heavy, a comforting weight in the suffocating darkness. She eased out of bed, each creak of the mattress a thunderclap in the silence. Her breath hitched. Creak. No, that was her. She moved with agonizing slowness, bare feet pressing into the cool floorboards of the hallway. Emily's door, usually shut tight, was ajar. A sliver of light from the hall spilled into the room, revealing the rumpled sheets of her daughter's empty bed. Amanda's blood ran cold. Emily, she whispered, the name a fragile plea against the encroaching fear. No answer. A new thought, sharp and sudden, pierced through her terror. Had Emily woken up? Was it her making the noise? A foolish hope, but a hope nonetheless. She turned towards the stairs, bat clutched, black-knuckled in her hand. Emily! Her voice ripped through the house, a desperate, frantic sound. She flew down the stairs, two at a time, nearly tripping over her own feet. Emily, where are you? And then she stopped. A woman stood at the base of the stairs, bathed in the faint glow from the kitchen beyond. Her face. It was painted meticulously, like the face of a clock. Numbers ringed her eyes, and two slender hands, like those of a timepiece, were painted from her forehead to her chin. As Amanda stared, transfixed, the painted hands moved. A slow, deliberate sweep. What in God's name? Amanda breathed, her voice a strangled gasp. She blinked, hard, wondering if she was still dreaming, if this was some vivid, waking nightmare. But the woman remained, her pale, unblinking eyes fixed on Amanda. She wore a short, black and white dress, its sharp angles and pleats giving it a distinct Gothic edge. Her long blonde hair was pulled into two precise pigtails, tied with black and white bows that mirrored the stark theme of her outfit. Before Amanda could demand who she was, before she could even form a single coherent thought, the woman turned. Her movements were fluid, almost unnaturally graceful as she descended the last few steps and vanished into the kitchen. "Hey!" Amanda yelled. A raw cry of fear and frustration. She charged after her, bat swinging wildly as she rounded the corner at the bottom of the stairs. But the woman was gone. The living room was empty. She burst into the kitchen, heart pounding a furious drum against her ribs. And there, at the antique pine table, sat Emily, sipping tea. Next to her, impossibly, sat the clock-faced woman. "Emily, get over here." Amanda's voice cracked, a desperate edge to it. She extended a trembling hand. Emily, her small face serene, merely took another delicate sip from her cup. Steam curled lazily from the porcelain. "Emily, now!" Amanda took a step forward, bat raised. The clock-faced woman moved, a blur of black and white blocking Amanda's path. Her eyes, framed by the painted numbers, were utterly devoid of expression. Amanda braced herself, knuckles black on the bat. This was it. She was going to fight. For Emily. Then Emily set her cup down with a soft clink. She turned to her mother, her eyes wide and innocent. "Mom, you need to get dressed," Emily said, her voice a clear, bell-like chime in the tense silence. "We're going to be late." Amanda froze. Late? Late for what, sweetie? Who is this woman? Come here right now. She took another cautious step towards Emily. The clock-faced woman shifted, again blocking Amanda. And then, as if from nowhere, a sword materialized in her hand. A long, gleaming blade, its hilt intricately carved. The tip rested casually on the floor, glinting in the faint kitchen light. "Emily, please," Amanda begged, her voice thick with fear. "Honey, what's going on?" Emily ignored her, finishing the last of her tea. She stood, pushing her chair back with a soft scrape. "I'm late," Emily said, her voice calm, devoid of any alarm. She repeated it, a little louder. "I'm late." Then a third time, with a small, impatient sigh. "I'm late. I don't know what's going on or who this woman is, but you need to get your ass over here right now," Amanda yelled, her voice raw, close to breaking. Emily didn't even glance her way. She simply walked towards the front door, the clock-faced woman trailing silently behind her, the sword, a silent, menacing presence. Amanda watched, frozen in a tableau of terror, as her daughter and the strange woman walked out the door, the soft click of the lock echoing in the sudden silence. For a second, Amanda was rooted to the spot, a statue of disbelief. Then, the horror crashed over her. Emily, gone. She shook herself, the back clattering to the floor. She ran to the door, fumbling with the lock, tearing it open. The cool night air hit her face, but the street was empty. No Emily. No clock-faced woman. They were just gone. A desperate sob tore through her throat. She stumbled back inside, her mind screaming. Phone. Police dot. The couch felt alien beneath Amanda. Too soft, too normal. In a house that had been irrevocably violated. Police officers moved through her home like ghosts, their flashlights cutting swaths through the lingering darkness, their hushed voices a continuous murmur. Detective Charles Clubb, a large man with a perpetually furrowed brow, stood by the kitchen doorway, talking in low tones with his partner, Detective Marcy Ace. Marcy, sharp-eyed and wiry, kept glancing at Amanda, a skeptical frown etched on her face. "She had a nervous breakdown, Charles." Marcy's voice, though low, carried clearly. "The kid's gone, and she's spinning this wild story about a clock-faced woman and a sword? Come on, she probably did something to the girl herself." Charles sighed, running a hand over his bald head. "We're not getting any answers here. Let's take her down to the station, run her through some photos, see if anything clicks." Marcy walked over, her face a mask of practiced sympathy that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Doctor Johnson, we're going to need you to come down to the station. We have a few photos we'd like you to look at. Possible kidnappers." "Of course," Amanda said, her voice hoarse. A sliver of hope, however faint, sparked within her. Photos. Maybe they knew something. Maybe they could find Emily. She pushed herself up from the couch, her legs feeling like jelly. As Marcy led her outside, the cool night air brought a shiver that had nothing to do with the temperature. The patrol car gleamed under the streetlights. "What about Emily's father?" Marcy asked, her tone conversational as she opened the back door for Amanda. "Any history there?" Amanda hesitated, then shook her head. "We've been through a nasty legal battle over guardianship. He's, not a good man." "Do you think he might have done this?" Marcy's eyes narrowed slightly, watching Amanda's face. I don't know what to think," Amanda admitted, her voice trembling. "He's capable of a lot, but this is different. This isn't him." "Tell me about your marriage," Marcy prompted, her voice soft, almost coaxing. Amanda's mind drifted back to the dark corners she usually kept locked away. He was abusive, she admitted, the words tasting like ash in her mouth. Physically, emotionally. A flash of memory, sharp and vivid, seared through her mind. The smell of burnt pie. The way his eyes had hardened, the veins bulging in his neck, the first blow. Boom. The sickening crunch of bone. Her own whimpers choked back. He almost beat me to death once, over a pie. I bought the wrong kind. The shame, the terror, the humiliation, all came flooding back. A toxic wave. Mossie's hand rested briefly on Amanda's arm. It's going to be okay, Dr. Johnson. We'll do everything we can to find Emily. She smiled, a small, reassuring curve of her lips. Then she closed the car door. As the latch clicked shut, Amanda heard her, a low, venomous whisper. Lying bitch. A chill, colder than the night air, snaked down Amanda's spine. They didn't believe her. They don't believe you? A mysterious voice said, a low, resonant baritone that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. Amanda's head whipped around, scanning the empty back seat, peering over the headrests, to the driver's side, then to the passenger side. Who's there? She whispered, her voice barely audible. I'm not over there. The voice chuckled, a rich, theatrical sound that sent shivers down her spine. Amanda looked out the window, her eyes darting left and right, searching the dark street. Or there, the voice added, its amusement palpable. Amanda's gaze snapped to her right, to the seat next to her. And there he was, a man, dressed impeccably in a vibrant purple suit, a matching top hat perched jauntily on his head. He was an older black man, his skin a rich, deep mahogany, and his face was dominated by an impossibly wide, almost cartoonish smile that revealed a perfect row of gleaming white teeth. His eyes, though, were what truly held her. They sparkled with an unsettling, mischievous intelligence. Amanda gasped, a choked sound of pure terror. She fumbled for the door handle, her mind screaming for help, for the officers who were just feet away. The figure, without moving his body, raised one long, elegant finger to his lips. Trust me, he said, his voice dropping to a low, conspiratorial whisper. That's not what you want to do. And then, as Amanda watched, eyes wide with horror, he began to evaporate. Slowly, like smoke, his form dissolved, starting from his feet, rising up his purple suit, through his top hat, until all that remained were his eyes, floating disembodied in the air, still sparkling with that unnerving amusement. Then, they too vanished, leaving nothing but the lingering scent of something sweet, like cinnamon and old paper. Amanda squeezed her eyes shut, her head spinning. She was losing her mind. This was it. A click startled her, and she opened her eyes. The strange figure was now in the driver's seat, his wide smile back in place, his purple suit perfectly pressed. He fastened his seatbelt with a flourish. You better put your seatbelt on, Dr. Johnson, he said, his voice booming with theatrical cheer. This might be a bumpy ride. He put the car in drive, and with a squeal of tires, they shot forward. Amanda was thrown back against the seat, her head hitting the headrest with a dull thump. Through the rear window, she saw the police officers pointing, shouting, scrambling into their vehicles. Red and blue lights began to flash, painting the street in a frantic, pulsating glow. Where are you taking me? Amanda demanded, her voice a ragged shriek over the roar of the engine. The man merely chuckled, his eyes fixed on the road ahead. I'm taking you where you need to go. And where is that? Where you have to be. Where do I have to be? Amanda screamed, twisting in her seat to face him. His smile widened, impossibly. There. Where? On time. For what? For you not to be late, silly. He winked, a flash of unsettling mirth. Amanda's anger, hot and fierce, finally eclipsed her terror. This was madness. She had to escape. Her eyes darted around the car, searching for a way out. The door handle, the window, anything. It'll take you longer if you go the wrong way, the figure said, his voice still laced with that infuriating amusement, as if reading her thoughts. He swerved, the tires protesting with a loud screech, narrowly missing a parked car. The police cruisers, their sirens wailing, were right on their tail. He drove through a narrow alley, a space so tight Amanda was sure they'd get stuck, but somehow, impossibly, the car squeezed through, scraping against brick walls with a horrific grindy. They almost clipped a pedestrian, who screamed and jumped back, then dodged a massive semi-truck that thundered past, its horn blaring a deafening honk. Inches from their bumper, Amanda was thrown from side to side, her body a ragdoll. Finally, with another dramatic skid, the car screeched to a halt. They were at the marina. The air smelled of salt and diesel. What are we doing here? Amanda asked, breathless, her heart still hammering. I drove us here, don't you remember? The man's smile was unwavering. Enough with all the fucking riddles and tell me what's going on, Amanda yelled, her patience snapped. The figure looked at her strangely, his wide smile faltering for a fraction of a second. I haven't said a riddle since we met. You better hurry, or you're going to miss your boat. What boat? Amanda looked out the window, her eyes scanning the dark water, and then she saw it. A small canoe, bobbing gently at the edge of the pier. Painted on its side in elegant script was a single name. Amanda John. But how do I? Before she could finish her sentence, the police car door clicked open. She turned back to the driver, but he was gone. Vanished. Better hurry, his voice echoed, seemingly from the very air around her. The flashing red and blue lights were closer now, illuminating the marina in a frantic dance. Shouts, distinct and urgent, reached her ears. Detective Ace's voice. Amanda didn't hesitate. She scrambled out of the car, her legs unsteady, and ran towards the canoe. The police swarmed the marina, sirens wailing, lights flashing. She launched herself into the small boat, landing with a soft thud. Her hands searched frantically for a paddle. Nothing. Detective Ace jumped out of her car, her weapon already drawn, pointing directly at Amanda. Dr. Johnson, don't be stupid. This doesn't end well for you. Before Amanda could utter a single word in protest, the canoe lurched forward. With a surprising burst of speed, it shot across the dark water, leaving the flashing light